everybody. I heartily welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Shilpa Gopal, former faculty, NIT Trichy, and also Chief Operation Officer, National Starch Industries Private Limited, Salem. I'm very glad to invite our head of the department, Mr. T. Saravanan, sir, and I would like to welcome Dr. A. Sengotain, Head PG and Research Department of Commerce CE, and Mr. M. Kannan, Head Department of Commerce to this webinar. It is wonderful to see such amazing count. I'm very glad to invite the participants of various colleges and my dear friends also. Welcome you all. Let's over to the chief guest.
Well,
Hello, ma'am.
thank you,
hello,
thank you, Harini, madam. The session hand over to resource person.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Harini ma'am. Thank you, Saravanan sir. Is my video visible? Saravanan sir?
Madam, okay. Carry on, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Audio is visible? I mean, audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. Very good morning to you all and healthy morning too. So, I hope all of you are safe in your home, spending some quality time with the family. And as Harini ma'am gave a good introduction about me, so I need not introduce myself. So, at the very outset, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to our respected chairman, sir, director, madam, secretary, madam, Arundhati, madam, joint secretary, Malar Selvi, our principal, Sendil Kumar, sir, and head of the department, Saravanan, sir, and the entire team of Kamadhenu Arts and Science College. I feel privileged to be here because I was associated with Kamadhenu College for quite a period of time. And I really appreciate the way they are carrying over the work, like motivating the students around in and around the places and empowering women candidates especially. So I feel greatly privileged to be associated with them. Thank you once again for keeping me in the loop. And my welcome and thank you for all the distinguished participants. I can see HODs, professors joining and spending some time to discuss certain matters over here. So thank you so much for attending this session. So directly going into the session, we can see that quite a few months, 1 or 2 months ahead, we were seeing disruptions everywhere. There were disruptions in the way we purchase, the way we go out, the way we meet people, and education sector is not an exception. Always we have, around 300 millions of students have got their education disrupted during this pandemic. And we being teachers are facing a lot of challenges while continuing or going into the online mode of education. So this is like this session, we are just discussing the challenges faced by teachers and learners. That's why the topic is working and learning during the online during the pandemic, because unless we know the challenges faced by the students as well as our own challenges, we will not be able to give a collective solution for all these challenges faced. And this will help you to make the best out of this online teaching, make the best out of your online learning, and make your online education very effective. So before we turn into Saravanan sir, can we see the presentation?
Not, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Can we have the presentation, sir? Will you be?
Ma'am, no, ma'am, it is not visible, ma'am.
It is not visible. Okay. So I will present it from here. Present now.
Ma'am, it's not visible.
I'm just.
Just now you're now for video, ma'am.
Ma'am, your screen is not able to see.
Yeah, I'm just trying.
Screen is not visible. Yes, audio is coming.
Video is not visible.
Saravanan sir, can you start the presentation from there, sir?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Just
ma'am.
you go to the down, you'll get the present now.
that icon.
Okay, madam.
Yeah, I am trying it now, but
Okay, madam.
window. You can't share the screen. Okay, sir, you can share the presentation from there. Yes. Is it okay now? Visible?
Yes, ma'am. Visible. You can see your
Yes. Yes.
screen.
Next slide, sir. Next slide. Next slide, sir. Next slide. Go to the next slide, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next, sir. Next, sir. Okay. So before we go into the challenges, we would like to have a quick look on how the online and traditional classrooms are different. So we all know that this is there is no personal interaction, some disturbances.
Mic up and
No personal interaction is there. Like we are not able to assess the mood of the students, and then there is a monotony. We are shut into a room with 4 walls, and it's not monotony. There is a lot of monotony over there. Distractions. Right now, we are facing some distractions. You can hear that lots of noises over there. Similar distractions can happen when you are going online also. So, since we don't have polling questions, I have just 2 questions on the screen. You can just have the answers in your mind. And when we discuss further, we'll just get answers to this. Further we'll discuss about the answers. So, do you feel that the online classes are better than traditional teaching? Yes or no? Just have the answer in your mind. Do you think the retention capacity of students are better in online mode than traditional? Yes or no? So, just take a second to find the answer for this. If it's no for both these answers, we definitely need to go further and find out what we can do to make our online education or online teaching more interesting and more effective. So the next slide, please, sir. So we'll just go into the challenges for teachers. So one by one, we'll just discuss these challenges. I'm sure you may have completed a few sessions online already, and already you would have faced certain difficulties. So the first difficulty which I had noted here is that demotivated students. We can see students joining and then disappearing from the class. Once the attendance is over, the students are disappearing, or you can see that the students are not, keeping the video and audio mute, and then they are on their own world. So I remember one of my colleagues discussing his own experience with me. When during his online classes, he found that the video of one student was off, and sometime later, he accidentally switched it on, and he found that the student was playing cards with his family members or friends. So this can happen. So demotivated. Why is that students are demotivated? First of all, they are not able to meet you people in person, meet their friends in person, and just the one-way education or one-way interaction. There's no interaction. One-way communication is really demotivating, even to me. I also feel that if there was a chance to interact with you all during the session, it would have been better. But there are a lot of distractions, and technology has its own limitations. So this cannot be happening, but you can always make it more interesting by keeping it more interactive. The second one is responding to students' questions. When you feel that in a traditional classroom, the students will be voluntarily asking their questions or discussing their doubts with you, and they will feel more comfortable in interacting with you personally. But here at the same time, in the online education, once they are logging out of the session, they forget what was there, and then they forget their doubts, and the learning there is not complete. Learning is not effective over there. So this is the second challenge which is faced by the teachers. And the third can be encouraging collaboration. The students are not meeting each other. There is no teamwork, so you cannot take into collaborative teaching into effect. So this is one more challenge which is faced by the teachers now. And then, of course, we have technical difficulties. Right now, what we are facing is the technical difficulties hopefully the video, audio things are clear. So difficulties, technical difficulties, network problems, all these. Managing time. I know all of you must be having a difficult time at home. Your kids are at home, your spouse is at home. So there are a lot of other work also. And managing office is home and home is office now. So previously it was not like that. You had a set timing for your office or for the class, and then you go home and then spend the entire time with your family. But now it's not there. You have to juggle between your office and your home inside the same place, and managing time will be a difficult time for you, a difficult task for you. And the next one is mental blocks. The depression or the stress we have being locked inside the house, not able to meet people, not able to go out. So I'm sure there'll be different types of mental blocks. And I happened to listen to one webinar or seminar organized by the same college a few days before. The resource person was, I think, Krishnamurthy sir from Congo Engineering College. He was talking about this mental blocks and how to come out of the mental blocks. So I think those who have attended the class would have got an idea about it. Otherwise, you can get it shared by the college, or you can get the link from the Saravanan sir. So mental blocks, that is also a particular challenge which are faced by the teachers. We will talk about how to solve this in the coming slides. We are just discussing challenges faced by the teachers and the students. I want you to know the challenges faced by the students also, because only then we'll be able to give a collective solution for them. So can you go to the next slide? Challenges for the students. So what challenges are the students facing? The first challenge which the students are facing is absence of personal interaction. As I told you, for them, attending the college, challenges faced by, yeah, the slide, sir. So absence of personal interaction is like the main reason why they come to the college is they can meet teachers, they can meet friends, have a coffee time, free coffee with the friends, all this. When this is not there and only attending classes is the motive behind these online classes, then definitely students will feel bored. So absence of personal interaction is one thing which is a challenge faced by the students in this. Difficulty in understanding. When we teachers take the personal, traditional class, we know the mood of the students. We know how the students are from their faces. But here now, we are not able to understand how the students are feeling. And the way we can always alter the way we teach. Okay, bring in some humors, bring in some suspense, bring some stories to the class, all this. When we are able to see them in person to person or face to face. But online, this is lacking. We don't understand how the students are feeling, and we will not be able to change the way we are teaching. There will be only monotony, as we discussed in the first slide. So difficulty in understanding. And when we share the resources, they just go through the resources and find, they may find it difficult to understand certain concepts. So no proper class schedule. Yes, of course, we are giving them schedule, but they may not be syncing it with their own schedule. They may have different classes, different schedules, different assignments, and then if they are not syncing it well or properly, and they don't have contact with the peers also. So because of that, they forget the deadlines in submitting the assignments, in attending the test. You may have online tests and all. So they may forget these deadlines, distractions. And this aspect, we also have, as teachers, or we also have this distraction thing happening. Because I can see people over there, family members disturbing them, distractions coming. You have your Netflix in front of you, you get distracted to see the movie, Mahabharata, Ramayana, whatever is coming, we get distracted over there. So these distractions are there for the students also. And then this technical facilities. Again, one more example I can give you is that another colleague was discussing about this technical difficulty, saying that when he asked why students are not attending classes, they were saying, sir, எங்களுக்கு வந்து GB பத்தல, 1 GB ஃப்ரீ டேட்டா 2 கிளாஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றதுக்குள்ளார முடிஞ்சு போயிடுது, நீங்க ரீசார்ஜ் பண்ணி விடுங்க, நான் கிளாஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றேன். I believe that the same example would have happened to at least some of you, that people in the rural areas are not able to get proper technical, not in rural areas. Now even I was not also getting a few hours before I was not getting my internet properly because the traffic is jammed over there. People working from home, seminars, podcasts, webinars happening everywhere. So people find it difficult. The load is internet speed is very less. So this is another difficulties faced by the students. So we should understand both from our perspective and from the students' perspective to give it a proper solution and make our online teaching more effective. Get the best out of it or make it a wonderful experience for you as well as for the students. So now we'll go into the solutions. This is the challenging part. Next one, which is more important, is the solution part. Okay, next slide, sir, please. Challenges faced by the strategies for the teachers. So before we go into finding a solution for this challenges, we are having some few questions over there. I think polling option is not there, so we'll just have the questions and then have the answers in mind. The first question is, how many slides are in your typical class presentation? Is it 20, below 20 or less than 20? Is it around 30 to 40? Or is it more than 40? So you just have your answer in your mind. In your typical class, how many slides are you using? Okay, my slide has 18 slides. My presentation has 18 slides over here. And 1 or 2 are about pictures and all. So what makes a, second question is, what makes a great lecture? Humor, new ideas, suspense, or entertainment? People may be bringing suspense to the class when before they introduce the topic, they may bring a story to the class, they may bring a small clipping to the class. Okay, so is this the one which makes a great lecture? And the third question is, an efficient teacher is the one who teaches everything he knows and shows his expertise. So we'll find the answers for you may have some answers in your mind about this according to your perception and attitude. So we will just look answers for this in the coming slides. Okay, next slide, sir, please. So the strategies for teachers, what can you do to make your online lectures or presentation more effective? So the first thing we should keep in mind is that the absorbency level of the students. How much is the capacity of the student? How much can they absorb? Usually the study says that the first 10 to 15 minutes is the thing when the student's concentration is found at its best. After that, it starts falling. So, you know, the absorbency curve, it's just going down. Okay, first 15 minutes, it's high, and then it goes down. And by the time it is around 30 minutes, it is almost down. So that time, around 30 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes, a teacher should try to bring the absorbency level to the next level. That is, again, it should be up again. So this one technique which I have mentioned is that I had gained this technique from a podcast given by Harvard Business Publishing. They say that in the class, in the normal class also you can do this. On online classes also you can definitely practice this. Cold calling. Cold calling is a technique, like we marketers, when you're teaching marketing, we know cold prospects, hot prospects, like that. It's the same concept. Cold calling, you can just call out one student or two students and give them certain topics from whatever classes you have taken and ask them to say a few lines about the topic. Even in your online classes, you can do that. You can do it for the individual student, or you can convert them into teams and ask them to discuss and come out with the ideas. So this can be one technique with which you can take their absorbency level to the next level, because when you give the initiative of the class to the students, they are more motivated, or they either more interested into this topic. Okay, so this is the first one strategy you can follow to make your online classes more successful. And we have now blogs, forums and all where you can always use this. We'll discuss it about it later. And then help them make a healthy academic habit. Best part of the online education is that people are not into a proper academic habit. They just randomly come to the class when the class is announced. They just get up and sit in front of the system and then sleep off or mute it, video is off, and then they do their own things. So even in the class, we find that they directly from the hostel, they get up and come to the class and see. But So online we need not say what is happening. So help them to make a healthy academic habit, help them to prepare their own daily schedule. Okay, though we are at home, we have we have a tendency to be very lethargic, get up late, sleep late, all this. Ask them or encourage them to remove this habit and stick to their schedule as if they are attending a normal class. So this you also can develop yourself, and then you can follow, motivate your students to follow this. Give them, the third point we can use is that give them logical assignments and proper time to prepare, give proper time to prepare and motivate them. I'll give you a small example of such logical assignments. Like there was a math teacher, and he wanted to teach this exponential techniques to his students. So since it's a COVID-19 scenario, he asked them to prepare a report on how the disease or infection is spreading exponentially. Each day, what is the curve level taking place, and how the bed capacities in the hospitals needs to be increased to accommodate these patients and all these, and help them to relate the topics with the current situation. So similar small assignments which makes them logically think that can be given, and you can ask them, show them certain references, give them certain sites to visit to find out the references. All this you can do and try to motivate them. Reply to their questions. Students may not be willing to ask their questions to you. Make their doubts clear. So consider this as a personal opportunity to have a personal connection with them, and then try to encourage them to question you, have contact with you, email you, if possible, give you a mobile number and ask them to message you. So keep in touch with them through blogs and forums. You have different blogs now. You can create forum. If you are having Google Class, you can have the posts and this thing following. Even in other websites also you can have this. So have active blogs, have active forums, encourage them to be in touch with you. And then the next start discussion forum. One important thing is that you can have flipped classrooms. This is also an interesting technique to make your to reduce the monotony of your online education. What is called as MOOC, massive open online courses, or you can have flipped class option. Next slide, sir, please. This is also called as blended learning. Okay, blended learning, where we are taking face-to-face learning and online. But now we can have online along with the facilities available online, other facilities available. So we have massive resources now. There are many faculties who are sharing their video lectures on the websites. You can give students those references, ask them to refer those videos, and then come back to your blogs or forums to discuss about those things. And believe me, you can create your own video also and share it online so that we all can use that. So that is a good way, flip the classroom, or we can also call it as blended learning. So this can be done. You can even get free videos in different sites like Swayam. You can have NTPL, then there is one more other sources like edX, Udemy also, where you can just log in and get the resources from them. Ask the students to share these resources and take advantage of all these things. So blended learning or MOOC is also another option to make your online classes more interesting. Next slide, sir, please. So the next will be, encouraging. I said one of the challenges faced is encouraging collaboration or teamwork. How is it possible now in this social distancing when we are not able to see in person? Yes, you can of course do ask the students to do teamwork. Like I'll give you an example. I don't know how many of you have followed 2-3 videos which was created by the celebrities like Amitabh Bachchan and other celebrities staying at home. They had recorded their part and the video is made as a teamwork. The scene was that, and there was another video created by sports stars saying about you can make homemade masks and wear it accordingly. So similarly, you can ask the students to create a video or a podcast sitting at their home their creativity is endless. So you can ask them, give them a topic and ask them to prepare a video on this, ask them to prepare a podcast on their own, give them a concept, and then this can be utilized for sessions also. So that is one way in which you can encourage the collaboration. Set your teaching objectives and schedule clearly, okay, and ask the students to sync it with that. Okay, you have a particular objective given in your classroom and sync their schedule with that, so that they will know which class to attend at which time, and what are the resources which they need, like what are the references to be taken. Okay, instead of having our monotonous your lectures, you can ask 10 minutes of your lecture and then ask them to present a small presentation to be done by the students or a team. Things like that. You just give them the work, they will come with a lot of creativity. That is it. Keep your lecture short. Hope you remember the question which I asked, how many slides in your typical presentation? So keep it lesser, keep it short and simple, and supplement more concepts with your activities and fun. How can you encourage activities in the thing? Yes, you can encourage activities, have quizzes, online quizzes, like the same college had initiated a quiz on COVID-19, and I also participated in that. I got 70% marks, almost 3-4 questions were wrong. So you can also ask the students to, join some quizzes. They can create quizzes. Give them the chance to create quizzes about anything on the earth. Now that it is not, we are stuck up, we have lots of other activities also to do. So we can also ask them to create some concepts related quizzes or some general quizzes and ask them to share it with their students and their colleagues. And you can even consider this as a part of the assessment. You have online assessment, you can even take this as a part of assessment. Motivate the students to take up new online courses. Yes. This is a major aspect which even we can consider ourselves. We have different portals or websites which are providing new online. I'm sure you may be taking up new courses like that. Update yourself and join some online course. NPTEL and SWAYAM and all these things are there. Preparing course materials. When we prepare the course materials, keep the students in your mind, whether they will be able to understand the concepts, whether they will be able to get the reference materials, whether they will be able to prepare on their own, okay, in case of shortage of things like that. So this course line preparation, course material preparation is always a major thing which we must concentrate on. Help students to solve their technical snacks. I'm sure you may have felt this, but I'm not recommending to recharge for them or do like, but whatever help we can do to help the students solve their technical snacks, we can do that, and help them contact with your technical persons, whether your college supports it or you take help from outside. Help them to solve their technical snacks. Always you have your backup. Okay, when you are going online class, you may find technical snacks, a snack for yourself. Have a backup plan, have a modem or whatever next source you have. So this is another strategy to follow. These are the small things which we have to keep in mind when we go online and solve the challenges which we are facing. Next slide, sir. So this is one more thing, certain things yet to come. So encourage collaboration. You have backup your backup plan, whatever facilities you are using, modem, laptop, have mobiles in your hand, so that if you are not able to get into that, you can just shift to your mobile. So this is how the certain, sir, can you go to the next slide? And whatever resources you have, you can just share it with your colleagues and your students. Whatever references or sites you have, you can just have a share it with your colleagues and your students, so that they can also have their look on it and keep their options open. Keep reading. Encourage them also to read. And there is one concept which is I would like to share with you: out of sight, out of mind. Okay, in the next slide. This is the next slide. So can you just change the slide? So when we go out of sight, mostly we just forget the things which have happened in the class. Okay, like I would just like to give you a simple exercise now. Just close your eyes and think about any lecture which you have heard previously. It can be a recent webinar, it can be a recent seminar, it can be a recent talk, anything. Just think about it. How many concepts can you remember? How many concepts can you remember? Any key concepts which you can remember out of it? Any key concepts? Any key concepts which you can remember out of it? Or any humors or something which you can remember? Or is it complete blank? So here comes the next strategy which you can use, which is art of storytelling. We all can use the art of storytelling in the class. Relate the concepts with your own examples, relate it with the outside world, and bring some story. Always here in the online also you can do that. Bring some story to the class, and you will be able to understand your concepts, or make them understand your concepts well. Make your own videos. There were many lockdown diaries formed now when we have this lockdown period. People were making lockdown videos of how they are using this time during the lockdown very fruitfully and all this. So you can relate your own stories and bring it to the class. Ask them to create their stories and bring it to the class. So this is one more strategy for the teachers, and we'll just go into a strategies for students quickly. Because since the students are not attending, I am not going very in detail to that, but you should also know how to help students to make their, solve their challenges. So some of the measures, it is that, so they have to remove their boredom and carve out and clean out their study space. Like they may have declutter the study space, bring whatever lectures are, whatever materials are needed, their laptop, their pen, pencil, or whatever things are there, and arrange themselves, have a proper schedule for them, turn out distractions, and whenever you are into the class, family members, we can also, yeah, I am not able to get the screen on the, Saravanan sir, are you there? I will share it now, let me try.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
I think Saravanan sir should approve me presenting over there. I'm trying and let us know. Saravanan sir, are you there?
What is ma'am?
Saravanan sir, can you just share the video, sir? I mean, the presentation.
Just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute.
Ma'am, you carry on.
Yeah, okay. So, I was telling about the strategies to clear the challenges of students. So, let them carve out their study place, let them declutter it, and next one is communication to our home members. This even we have to practice, because whenever we are in the online class, we are taking sessions, we have to inform our home members so that they are not disturbing us, we are out of distraction, otherwise something else will happen. I have a video to show later, at the later part, what happens, what goes wrong in the online sessions. So we need to help them with the help them communicate with their family members so that they are free for their study time and they are not disturbed, they are out of distractions. Sync with your schedule. As I told, follow the schedule and attend the classes properly, and then take study break. Ask them to take study break. We also can do that. Take study breaks. Keep a diary. Keep a check on the thing. disturbances. See, this is how the distractions happen. It doesn't matter. So online courses, ask them to join the online courses again. We can see them, ask them to be in touch with the students. Saravadin sir, can you share the video there?
Ma'am, here some network issue, ma'am. You carry on, ma'am.
Okay, no problem, sir. Okay, network technical snag. I was just telling about the technical difficulties.
Sir, please unmute Shilpa ma'am.
Shilpa ma'am, you carry on, ma'am. Please.
Right. So this is another aspect which you have to complete focus. You would ask them to have complete focus during the chosen time, and then join online, keep in touch with the teachers and students. These points I have already continued. And then ask them to have a study goals, daily, weekly or monthly study goals, and celebrate their achievements of the goals. Whatever goals they have, go for, achieve.
Ma'am, your presentation is not visible.
My session is not visible?
Yeah, no. Your presentation is not visible.
Presentation, they have some technical snags over there. That's why it is not visible. I'm also trying to present it.
Don't concentrate on your presentation. Plus, listen to madam. What else she tell you?
Okay. So keep motivated. Ask them to keep themselves motivated. Celebrate their achievements of goals. Like when they complete their goals, ask them to take a small break or enjoy or celebrate their achievements of the goals. This will help them to keep motivated. It can be a very small thing like enjoying a movie. Always they do that, but still, even then we can ask them to have that. Once they have completed the assignment, they can just keep to have a favorite snack or watch that favorite TV series or whatever, in whatever their own relative way, because we can't go out nowadays, and that is the only option we have at home. Okay, so these are certain points which you can ask your students to follow, and so that they can get the best out of the online education and classes. So how to make your virtual class interesting? So this is now the ubiquitous learning. When you have a mobile in your hand, and ubiquitous means everywhere, you can have the learning everywhere, and this is how the learning takes place now. So the math example I have told. So everything is changing now. Business is changing. We can see great businesses going down to the thing, like the cruise business, cruise industry, theaters, supermarkets, malls. All these are now finding even it difficult to meet their operating expenses, and they are going to the deadly low over there. But there are other businesses also which are using this COVID-19 situation to develop their own businesses in a different way. For example, yesterday I was reading in the paper that Rolls-Royce has started manufacturing honey. Rolls-Royce. Why is that Rolls-Royce is going into honey? Because one thing they feel that they can give employment to the people, and second thing is that in the UK they can protect the honey bee, cultivation. So this is why Rolls-Royce is going, and definitely if we can't afford Rolls-Royce, we can now afford the honey made by them. So this is the changes happening over there. Many automobile companies are manufacturing masks or PPE kits or something like that, and alcoholic breweries are producing sanitizers, and this business changes. So we also can make this COVID-19 situation and make it into an interesting one. So, but one thing which we have to do is that have realistic expectation. We never expected this, and we are not trained for this. So it's okay that if you are not able to give your 100% productivity, okay, you are not able to get 100% productivity. It's okay. It's a learning curve, and we are on it. So have realistic expectations. You need not bother about why the students are not learning. They will. They are also trying this for the first time, and they will definitely come out of it and create and create wonders over this. So plan ahead familiarize with your session. And so a few tips over here is log in early to have a test run. I did this morning. Every online class or every session I'm doing, I just log in early and then give it a test run to see whether it is. Sir, go to the further slide, sir. Some more slides. We have crossed all these. Next one, sir. Next one. Yeah, this one. Next one, sir. Go to the next slide. Next, please, sir. Yeah, some more slides. We are all done with this. Next one. Some more slides, sir. Yeah, next one. Next one. Yeah, this one. The previous one, sir. The previous one. Yeah. Okay. So next one, sir. The previous one. Previous one. Back. One more slide back. This one. Okay. Fine. Okay. Next. Next slide, sir.
So next slide, sir.
Servan, due to control to ma'am.
So next slide.
Yeah, this one. Previous one, sir. Previous one. Just the previous one. There is a video there. We need to play that video there. Previous one. Stop there, sir. Please. Yeah. So before we go into this thing, like try online class the same way as a traditional class. Okay, dress yourself properly. It will keep your mood high. I would just like to give an example of Omar Abdullah. Hope you remember, he was quarantined when the article was, Kashmir was being a part of, the article was passed. At that time, he was in quarantine for around 8 months or so. And after that, he has written a beautiful article about things to follow in quarantine. I hope things are clear and you are sailing with me. So this in this article, he has written that whether we have to go out or not, we should dress as if we are going to the class. Okay, so this will definitely keep your mood high. Just walk into the place like a traditional classroom when we are walking, and it will definitely help you to be confident for the class. And the next thing is beware of what others can see and hear. You have to mute or keep your audio and video mute if you are not presenting. Otherwise, you can just see whether your background is clear. People are not disturbing you. So there's a video over there. Clear the background voice and all. So just we'll play the video right now, sir. Can you just play the video, sir?
No, yes, ma'am.
On the tag, I have given. The video over there, and then it's all about how when online teaching goes wrong, what happens. Yeah, so we'll just have the video, sir. Saravanan sir, is it possible to share the video? Yeah. The video.
Please, ma'am, play it from start.
Yeah. Can you play it with the sound, sir, with the sound effect and stuff
From the start, from the beginning.
From the start, yes, from the beginning.
And make sure the video is audible also.
Audible. Can you switch on the audio of the video, sir? Video option. Audio option open.
Hello. Appa
Is it audible? The video is not audible.
No, it's not audible.
No, it's not audible. Sir, can you just check the sound?
Maybe is it okay? It's a self-explanatory video. You can understand that.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
just see
carry
that,
on,
and
ma'am. Explain,
maybe
ma'am.
you can share the
Okay,
you can
carry
share
on,
the
ma'am.
link with
We
the
can
participant. You can just get the link later and share the link to the participants also. So that's fine. You can just see how the online education can go wrong, how online classes can be a disaster. So be sure that you are not repeating or you are not into all this, any of these happenings. Make sure that you are not disturbed by others. Make sure that your background is clear, your voice is not um, yeah. So this is how sometimes we come into the online form, online mode. All this happens knowingly or unknowingly.
Okay.
Can happen. So that's about a small video about your thing. Can we go back to the presentation, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So the learning curve. Now that we are hearing so many things about curve, like steep, flattening the curve and all this, the learning curve is very steep, and we have to approach it with an open mind. Be calm and composed in your classes. Be be friendly with the students, and you definitely can reap out of it. There are some 7 brain rules to blow up your online classes. What you can do to make your classes more interesting. So next slide, sir. Make your classes. Then this is 7 brain rules. What we can do, work for the brain, because it's all related with the thinking. Think. So the first point is that next. Yes, sir. Think ahead. Okay. Think ahead and think about plans after post-corona. What will be your plans? Are you going for an entire, traditional classroom, or it can be a blended learning or whatever? So today they have said that TCS is going to have around 50% of your work staff from work from home. So similarly, we also can be, 3 days work at home and then 2 days work in college or whatever, your long-term plans, because it is not going to be the same way as before. Things are changing. Think back, think ahead, think back. Review your old classes, how improvements have to be made, what good strategies of the traditional classes you can follow in your online classes. So this is something which you can do. Compare it and understand how to make the classes more into, give it a traditional touch and make it more interesting. Think deep. Organize yourself, declutter, clear backlogs, or check your mails, check your blogs, forums, discussion forums, and organize yourself. That is what is called about think deep. Whatever schedule is you are running behind, make it think. And your students also, ask them to learn the concepts in this particular time period, because we are not having much time for the exams and all this. So this is the best time they can learn their basic concepts and go back and learn whatever they have missed out. So this is one thing which we can use. Think deep, think across, stay informed, share the right information to your colleagues, to your students, and help them get to the reference sites, help them follow their schedule, whatever references you have, you can share the resources with them. Think growth. This is where it need not be your professional growth alone. It can be encouraging them to follow their passion, encouraging them to follow their passion. Like you can follow whatever you had missed out in your life. Some people are doing their music classes, some people are dancing, some people are learning a new language. And this period of 1 month or 1.5 months, you can encourage others also to do that. There are many sites like Udemy, you have Coursera, you have edX, and all these have different options for you to learn new things, learn a new language, learn a new art, learn a new skill, whatever is. According to that, you can just learn and encourage others also to learn, follow their passion, and then help those think well-being, help those who are in need and spread happiness, and help them help them in whatever way you can. There are elders, there are people around them, and you can even encourage your students to help the society in around them. Like there is a journalist who is encouraging the students who are doing the journalism course to create a lockdown diary of people around them. How do they spend? What are their needs? What are the challenges and all these things? And help them make a small video or a lockdown diary, which will encourage them to understand other people's need and also at the same time. So though we are into this online education, we can find the immense ways to make it more interesting and make it more effective, bringing everyone into it, because this online education is going to be a sustainable one. See, this pandemic, when it was attacking, we were all stuck up, and we all had to, leave those traditional classrooms and shut down those classrooms. But still, we were able to continue this online education through online. So this is a sustainable educational way. We can call it a sustainable education. And to make the best out of it, we have to think now and think here what concepts will help us to make the best out of it and make the wonderful online experience a wonderful one. So these are the certain brain rules which we can follow about it. And that's all. And the rest is about from your part, because if some of you can take some concepts from this and use it in your online classes, I feel that my efforts are fruitful. So thank you for your patient listening. Of course, there were some technical snags in between, but otherwise it was a wonderful audience. I can see some people giving their comments. Some people were giving their wonderful online presentation. Attendance register and feedback. Okay, so feedback I definitely want, and you can also share your experiences now, so that each one of you will be able to know what challenges we faced and how did we solve it. Apart from this, there may be many other challenges we had faced, and we would have also solved it. So I think, Saravanan sir, if possible, we can have some feedback and some question answer session. Somebody would like to share their experiences. Some people would like to share their challenges and make it a discussion forum over here. So I now over to you, sir. So people who are interested to share their feedback or share their responses can do it now. It's over to you, sir, now.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, this is Professor Shiva from Kadar Institutions.
Shiva Ganesh.
Yeah, Ganesh Babu. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Hello. I can see you.
Ma'am, according in your viewpoint, is this online gonna replace your offline mode?
Yeah, so definitely no, because at the starting of the session, I just asked you a question whether online education is better than traditional classroom. Definitely, it cannot replace traditional classroom, because that interaction or the personal face-to-face personal interaction we can never get in an online mode. But we can make it more interesting and equivalent to that through following certain. Definitely, when you meet your students, meet a student, you will not get that satisfaction when you are taking online class. I'm sure on this point you all will agree with me that when you meet your students, that is the most enjoying aspect of your course, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I feel I am out of water when I don't get a class on a day. Fish out of water.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Yeah.
Sure,
So
ma'am.
I think you
Sure.
all have the same feeling. When you don't have class, we feel somewhat we have not, completed the day as such. So definitely
Sure, ma'am.
traditional education, but we can make it equivalent to that.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you so much
Because
for
in
your
the
feedback.
in the COVID
Madam?
session, we are having indeed great to have you as a speaker, as a host, and you are enlightened us with the nice PPT and the what is that? Your experience are shared
Thank
in
you.
a good manner, ma'am. It's really good.
Hello,
Yeah.
madam. Good morning,
Have
madam.
you, ma'am.
Good
Good
morning.
Thank you,
morning.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Jairam,
Thank you. Jairam,
Dr.
sir.
Dr. Jairam here.
Yes, sir. Hello,
Okay,
sir.
I am from Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay, sir.
Ma'am, actually, nice presentation, and
Thank you so much.
whatever you have presented, it is invalid. And
Thank you so
now,
much.
already, I have prepared my research paper
Okay.
regarding an effective online teaching and traditional teaching.
Oh,
But my research paper and most of the foreign authors research paper at the time of review of literature, I'm sharing my experience, as well as I'm sharing my knowledge.
yeah,
Whichever
sure,
I
sir.
have studied, whichever I studied, nearly 58 articles I am sharing with you.
Hmm.
See, according to a review of literature and foreign authors research paper,
Hmm.
it talks about online teaching is effective than tradition. Well, sir,
Hmm.
this what, and the research gap tells that they collected feedback only from PG students like MCom
PG.
and MBA, like PG students, and there was a little wider gap between UG students as well as PG students.
True, sir.
And what I did, I have did a research paper on taking a sample size of 1,500, including of PUC students, degree students, as well as PG students. The PG students, 50% they are satisfied. Okay, they are in located in city area, that is urban area. But while
Okay.
coming to rural area, they are literally their network issue and connectivity issue, and they are not satisfied with online teaching. Well, coming to Indian context,
Yes.
and coming to UG program, 80% of the students they are not interested with online teaching. Only
Hmm.
20 students are interested. That too, that 20 students, I have asked the marks of them, where they will bunk the class, right? The few students will bunk the class. That set of students they will opt online teaching. Why? Because we will get attendance. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the
That is
end,
the
and
way people are. Yeah. Tell
yeah,
me,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah. And there is means whatever I have told, that all the means that are all the findings and suggestion I have given in one of the research paper, and the Scoopux index they are reviewing. It is reviewing, and
Okay.
let's see, my paper will select or what go for best, ma'am. So this what
Definitely, sir. All the best for your.
yes, ma'am. This what
Yeah.
as you told me,
Hello.
share your experience. Henceforth, I am sharing with
All
you.
the best. All the
Yes,
best.
madam. Yes, ma'am. And
Yes,
even
sir. Yes, sir.
I
All the best. Thank you for
yes,
sharing
ma'am.
your experience.
Actually, from this during the pandemic and home quarantine, I was a resource person for 5 program research methodology also. So today, anyway, I had free time. Henceforth, I was means I'm in very keen interest with attending this session. So I got good information, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you
Shilpa,
so
ma'am.
much, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Hello.
sharing your
Hello, ma'am.
information, sir. All the very best.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. See you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Ma'am, this is Dr. Indrajit Bhagat from Maharashtra.
Hello. This is Dr. S. J. Satish.
Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Hello.
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 Ma'am, this is Dr. Indrajit Bhagat from Maharashtra.
Indrajit Bhagat from Maharashtra. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. I think this your session is very informative for us, and
Thank
I
you.
found that to be highly informative.
Thank
I
you so much,
congratulate
sir.
you on a wonderful job as the great performer of of your presentation. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me chance to hear you and link with your presentation.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine to have such a variety of audience from different states. So from Maharashtra, was Indrajit Bhagat. Thank you so much for your feedback, sir.
Yeah, it's
ma'am,
my
myself
pleasure.
Sheshu Sailendra. Hello, ma'am. Sheshu Sailendra.
Hello, Sheshu Sailendra. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, ma'am. Ma'am, it was a very good session, ma'am. Whatever you have told, we have been also facing while presenting.
Correct, sir.
Ma'am, only one thing, ma'am.
Yes.
For theory classes, it's fine, ma'am. What about analytical papers? How to solve? I mean, like how to present it to the students, ma'am? Do you have any suggestions, ma'am?
Sir.
Analytical,
sir, actually, practical paper you can solve by sharing the whiteboard. Otherwise, by sharing the solved paper.
Sir, one more thing is, actually, I'm working in Coimbatore. Actually, I came to my residence. I don't have laptop. I only have, mobile. So
yeah.
These are the
You can use your whiteboard in your in your home, or you can use your simple your paper and your pen and then solve and show them on the line. And since you are not having laptop, that can be the only option now. And maybe you can once you get back your laptop, you can even join the Google Whiteboard, or you can use the Google Class and use the whiteboards which are online now available, and use these facilities for solving papers. Ask students to solve the papers and share it online so that you can correct them where they have gone wrong. So this can be an option for this analytical papers.
This thing, I mean, bandwidth problem is there, ma'am. The network connectivity is there.
True. That is always there. This technical snag, even we faced it right now in our session when the presentation was out of, we were not able to see the presentation. So maybe you can have a backup, have a modem, or have a backup phone with another network. All these works.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Yeah.
Madam, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Madam, I am Nagaraj.
Dr. Sadish from Pudukkottai. Hello.
Sadish, okay, Dr. Sadish, sir. Yeah. Pudukkottai. Hello.
From Pudukkottai. Ma'am, first of all, Pudukkottai, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, I am from
Yes,
Pudukkottai. Yeah, first of all, I congratulate you and thank you for the nice presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
And actually, I need only one clarification from all the teaching fraternities.
Yeah.
Now, whenever we speak about this kind of online education, are we not discussing about the social behavior of the students? The first question, in what way it is going to affect the social behavior of the students, number one. And the second question is, my personal view is that this kind of online education, is it suitable for somewhat backward students, the slow learners? Your comment on this, ma'am.
Meeting going to
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hello, sir. Sir, anybody else would like to share
Hello, sir.
their views?
Shiva from Qatar Institution. Hello.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Sir, this
this
is...
ma'am, once again.
Yeah,
Sir,
please do.
Yeah, ma'am, for the Pudukkottai, sir.
Shiva, sir,
Hello.
is sharing
Your
some
name,
of his
sir?
views about your... Yeah.
Ma'am, of course, there can be snag in the technical point of view, as the connection point of view, there can be a lag, ma'am. Goes to the online way of mode of session, wherein he can learn many things and he can get out of the problem. And to a certain extent, it can be done, ma'am, in compared to question one.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, Shiva, sir. Answering to your question, I think, Sherwin, sir, see, rural area, as I told, there is a very tough technical snag happening. Even in urban areas, we feel that now the network is down, sometimes the speed is very low. And this, from the rural point of view, it is definitely not going to help to have an effective solution. But is also trying their level best to connect the rural areas. So
Bhavati,
this
I
is
don't lose my
maybe
phone
in
where-
the years to come. Please. Okay. So. No, I can see so many other voices, very interesting voices. So that's why I just wanted to hear that. I did not want to miss that humor in the session. So, sir, Sherwin, sir, this is your question about rules is definitely not going to give it an entire or 100% productivity in this rural areas. And regarding your first question, it was about replacing the traditional classrooms or the effectiveness. It all depends upon us how we are making use of the thing, because we can see that social behavior of the students. We can see that many students who are not very open in the classrooms expressing themselves in the online classes, in the blogs, in the forums. That's how people are doing their presence in the social media. People who are not very talkative in the class, they will be very active in Instagram or Twitter or wherever it is. So this will definitely help the students to behave in a socially responsible way if we correctly guide them. As teachers, we can give them the right platform to express their views. And of course, we can't monitor them always, but you can always help them to have a socially responsible platform to express their creativity and express their skills in the right way. So this is my point of view from the on the topic. And if anybody else would like to share the topic, they are welcome.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, Anandi.
Hello.
Sir. Hello, sir. I can hear you.
Ma'am, this is Dr. Sadish from Pudukkottai.
Sadish from, yes, sir. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, already I put a question that. Hello.
You had raised the question, sir, like social behavior and the rural area.
Yes, ma'am. And do we feel that online education is good for the slow learners because they need the self motivation and the physical motivation straight up?
True, sir. This online education is not going to replace that other thing completely, because as per the slow learners are concerned, we definitely need to give them time, need to give them a personal attention, need to have personal interaction. So it's not possible for completely to avoid the traditional classrooms for the slow learners. But since now this is the time of pandemic, we won't be able to get a proper connection with them. But even then, you can ask them to be online, you can see them, you can have video chats with them, you can have virtual get-togethers among the students, make them socially engageable. You can ask the slow learners to come and chat with you, you can meet them, you can clarify their doubts in person, like face to face. All this can be done, sir, because since it's a total pandemic situation, this is what we can do right now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice to share your views and.
Sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Saravanan, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Video, ma'am.
சொல்லுங்க சரவணன்.
சார் நீங்க vote of thanks கொடுத்துறீங்களா?
Yeah, we're in. Okay.
Sir, just a minute.
Okay.
Sir, Bhuvini Maharaj irare.
Okay. Okay.
May I give my suggestion? Hello.
Tell me,
yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me, sir.
On the line.
Sir, this is Jai Rusen from Trichirappalli.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Working in Jamal Muhammad College in Trichy.
Yes, sir.
To make the students more attentive, I can give you some suggestions.
Sure, sir.
Actually, the participants' voice can be muted by the administrator.
Correct.
I don't know whether it is possible or not. It is related to technically. No. I am going to tell you that that is, the video should not be muted. it should, the student should be visible to the teacher. It is a purely technical issue, but I don't know whether it is possible or not. Can you try for that? Can you understand what I am telling?
Yeah, we can, sir. We can mute the audio so that we are not distracted. But the video should be on so that we can know how the participants are responding to your. See, I was also watching on the right side of the screen. I can see faces listening. See, this is a real motivation for the speaker. You know, when you see the faces of the audience, you feel motivated. Like otherwise, I feel that I'm talking to myself. When I see the faces only, I can have the motivation of that I am talking to you people.
Yes.
So, of course, you have to keep the video on, but audio mute so that we are not distracted.
Okay. No, I am telling you that. I am telling you that the audience cannot be muted. Hide the video.
Okay, they have to. That you can make it mandatory in the class when you are having your classes. You can have Google Classroom. You can see that you can see all the faces over there. So in that way, you can have it. Make it mandatory in the class that you should see all the students' faces. Otherwise, they'll, as I told, they will switch on for the attendance. They will attend and then they will leave.
And they do some other works.
Yeah, some other work. Correct. Attending, viewing TV or playing games or whatever.
Yeah.
Playing.
Yes.
I gave the example.
Totally, it is a valid session, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for your feedback, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Anandi.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It was very nice session. We had a very good time with you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. The same here.
Okay, ma'am. I want to say one thing.
Yes.
Most of the students from Tamil medium, while we are taking the class in the this kind of apps, we are only using the language of English. This can be also one of the barrier of studying to the students, ma'am.
Exactly. You have given a very valid point. Our students' communication or the ability to understand English is really, when we share the online videos or when we share the references, definitely they are, not going to understand. And when the understanding level is very less, they will lose the interest in watching those videos or watching or those sites. That even happens to us. If we go and listen to some presentation in a British English or in English, American English fluency, we feel, you lose the interest in hearing that. So what can we do for this? Yeah, what can we do for this? One thing is that you can just ask them to view the video and ask them whatever points they have absorbed from that, and then you can points in your forums or blogs or interactive sessions, and you can explain points furthermore in your own language, in Tamil or whatever language you're following, and then make it clear for them so that we will know whether they have watched the video and whether they have absorbed something out of it and what is the capacity. Please do not stop them from viewing these videos because it will limit their communication skills further. So let them watch, whether they understand or not, let them watch it, and whatever is possible, let them absorb out of it, and then share it with the class. So each one would have absorbed one point, and this will make a good collection of the points.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for your suggestion, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello. I am Dr. V. Ananda Swami, Madam, from Mejura College, Madurai.
Hello, sir.
I am Mejura College, Madurai. I belong to mathematics. I belongs to mathematics department.
Mathematics, very interesting. Sir.
Yes. That is not possible to.
Mathematics online, sir. I want to ask you a question, sir. How do you teach mathematics online?
Yes, madam. That's what I am telling. It is not possible to take online classes for. I am very suffering from. That is, they handling the online classes for our students. That is COVID period.
Sir.
I am taking classes only for audio. If it is audio, there is no problem. If it is video, there is lot of problem. In Madurai, it is not possible, madam.
Correct. I understand, sir. I understand. Completely, I understand. When you go to the video mode may be off and then they will not be able to do anything. And people, students from the rural areas, they may not be able to follow the link and all these things. I do understand, sir. This is a technical facility which we have to cope up with it, and there is no other go than to adjust with that, because we understand that I told you we cannot expect 100% productivity in these times. Whatever is possible by us, we can just give it to them and ask them to prepare. You can share the screenshots of your working out of maths and then share them in your blogs or forums. Ask them to learn and then ask questions. All these things can be done. But I really appreciate your teaching audio mode. Maths can be taught in audio mode also. I'm just learning from you.
Yes. In problematic paper, I will give the procedure. I am giving the procedure only. How to handle this problem.
Through audio.
Audio, sir. But in theoretical, there is a lot of problems. Yes.
Procedure will be
problematic paper only. But it is theoretical. But it is yes. But when it is theoretical paper, I am also suffering. How to explain that one? Because it's one more thing, madam. I am not satisfaction with taking the online classes compared to the chalk and chart method.
No one is satisfied with the online teaching. The first one is technology is not giving, being with us. Sometimes we have this technical gaps and all. Second thing is that we as teachers love to be with the students. Am I right, sir?
Yes, correct, madam.
Yes, we want to be with the teachers, students. We want to be surrounded by the students. Just one question, sir. Just close for everyone. Just close your eyes and imagine a classroom scenario. Imagine a classroom scenario. What do you see? What do you see? You tell me, sir. Ananta Swami, sir. What do you see? When you close your mind and imagine a classroom, what do you see?
Our students.
Well, I will explain what I am saying. I see myself being surrounded by so many students, and one person who is seeing from outside cannot understand who is the teacher and who is the student. Okay, so this means that we teachers want to be surrounded with the students, and this online will never give us satisfaction of coming to a class and giving a classroom, being in the classroom and giving a class lecture. We can never replace that, because personal interaction is the one which is keeping us alive as teachers. So definitely that is really not possible. Even I am not satisfied.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank
you, sir. Nice to have you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Any feedback?
Yeah. Any other feedback? Having so much of time, it's almost 1.5 hours, and being online is really amazing. Yeah, people never be online for more than 10 to 15. Uma Maheshwari, madam.
Ma'am, how are you, sir? How are you, ma'am?
Fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm fine, ma'am. I missed the program conducted in our college last semester, really missed it. But now, you had a program in our college now? When students were there.
Correct.
Yeah, I missed it. Now my desire is satisfied because on hearing a lecture, really good. I think you may be the role model for everyone. So teaching clarity in speaking, presenting, and you're able to cope up with answering the questions, whatever questions they ask, even from maths, they are asking questions, you are able to satisfy them. It's really great of you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you for finding time for joining us, and hopefully we'll meet further presentations in Kamadenu.
Actually, I'm feeling jealous, jealous of our department, PIT department, Saravanan sir. Always, there's always good programs and good personality. Really good jealous of you people. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I should thank Saravanan sir especially for being such a technically good person, helping out and organizing everything very smoothly. And thank you, Bhupati sir, also to remind me and inviting me for this. So both these persons, I am really grateful.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Once again, we will do for Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, madam.
Hello, Ilavarasan.
Yes, madam. Madam, thank you for
Hello, sir.
giving a wonderful lecture, madam.
Thank you so much.
I extend my thanks to Kamadina African College, Saravana. Now I am working in assistant professor, Wales University, Chennai, madam. Now I am in my native place.
Are you holding online classes, sir?
Yes, madam.
Do you feel all these challenges?
Internet problem, madam.
Internet problem, yeah.
That's
Everywhere
why I attend your lecture. If you
Thank you so much.
provide a record session, it will more advantages to me, madam.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Edwin, sir?
Hello.
Edwin.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, madam.
Malagaraj,
Thank you,
Edwin,
Saravanan.
sir.
Thank you, Sengotayan.
I have one doubt.
Thank you, sir.
Edwin, sir? Is it Edwin, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Offline mode. How it is effective?
Session concluded.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, I'm not. Your voice is not audible, sir.
Hello.
Malagaraj.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Malagaraj, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
How
sorry,
are you, sir? Yeah. How are you, sir?
Hello.
Malagaraj, sir. Edwin, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Shiva from
College, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
It was a very wonderful session, ma'am, during this COVID-19 for us. Ma'am, can you able to hear, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you, Shiva, sir.
Ma'am, it was a very good session. Thanks to the organizers
Thank
of
you.
Kamadinu College, especially Saravanan sir and Sengotayan sir.
Thank you.
It was good,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Edwin, sir, please.
Thank you.
Edwin, sir. Yeah,
Hello.
Edwin, sir wants to communicate something.
Madam, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah, madam, I am from Nehru Art College, Bangalore. Nice,
Yeah.
very excellent. I have one
Tell me.
doubt.
Yes, sir.
How to taking a computer science subject for the commerce students? When I'm handling computer programming languages, how can I handle through online more effectively? What type of method I can through online?
Which subject, sir?
For example, Oracle or the C++ programming language.
C++.
Like that.
Okay. Sir, what I would like to suggest to you is that for the C++ program, you have certain modules given in the websites. You can ask the students to follow it and then come back to your classes for discussion, because when you teach Oracle, you need a personal interaction with them. Yeah, with them to solve or find a solution for the problem. And so in this case, you can ask them, you can find certain modules, or you can even yourself create a module how to work on Oracle or how to work on C++ or whatever programming language you have, and then you can join it with them. You have different courses or videos available in Udemy or Coursera. You can ask them to view those and come back to you for further discussion. And then if your technical support is there, you can share your screen and ask them to follow your screen and show them practical or video sessions.
Okay, man. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Sir, for joining.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Saravanan sir, is it time to wind up the session?
Okay, ma'am.
Sir, is it time to wind up the session? It's almost 12:30. I
Okay, ma'am.
hope the participants will be very hungry. Me too. So I would like to thank you. Hello? Sir, some of the participants are asking to share the PPT. So you share the PPT with the participants whoever have registered to you. Even the video can be shared. And I would like to thank you, sir, for helping me with the presentation, for clearing all the technical details, removing all the distractions, and having the session in a very smooth way. Hats up to you, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you once again for the entire team and Rupati sir also.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. We are very grateful our chief guest who gave her valuable time for us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I would like to thank our Kamadan institution and our head of the department for organizing this webinar class. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants for your kind attention. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Hope to see the participants
Thank you,
again
madam.
soon. So wish you all a happy online, wonderful online experience, and enjoy with your students and your family. Have a safe day ahead. Keep yourself healthy and safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Yeah.